Okay. All right, ladies, thank you for coming. Thank you for coming. I'm so excited to talk about this arm injection because it was everything. Have either of you ever injected in your arm before, Tia or 2.0 mommy? Jill, have you ever injected in your arm? I wasn't expecting to have so much appetite suppression with it, but I did. I want to do it again. And I thought it was a good um place to do it. Your arm is your favorite spot. Wow. Okay. I don't know anybody else that really injects in their arm. She's too scared. Yeah, that's how I was. I thought it was going to be painful, which is what most people will have you thinking that it's painful. But again, we know everybody's different. But I just thought it was easy peasy and it was effective for me. So I'm excited about that. Okay, let me try one more time. I'm gonna try to get my dad this link. And if I can't, oh wait, maybe it did. Let me see if I can get him to get on here. I don't know. So remember, I had told you guys that I did not tell any of my friends and family about starting a YouTube channel. And up to this day, my dad knows, and he's shared with people. So I'm gonna have to share quicker than I planned on it. And four of my friends that live in different states that I told, and so they've been supportive. But people, it's so funny because they say people love you and they care, but they really don't care. Like they're not like stalking my videos out, trying to see what I'm doing. But just having that support and knowing that it's somebody who knows, that what I'm doing is pretty cool. So I plan this weekend to tell most of the people that I'm pretty, close to, talk to on a regular basis, keep up with. Um, no, no one knows, no one knew. You said, right, when you just said your dad, I was like, I thought nobody knew. Right. I hadn't told anybody. And then I did tell him. I'm gonna make a video and talk about that. But I did tell him. And, some people just said, some people had said, he probably didn't say anything, or people aren't saying anything because they don't know what to say. You probably lost weight and done things before, and they're just kind of waiting it out. And I believe that to be true. I think they were right. But yeah, he is. He sent that. I shared a video with him just for him to see. And I'm like, don't tell anybody. And then I'm getting these people sending me links like, send me your video, send me your video. And I'm like, I didn't want anybody to know. So I was trying to hold out until I lost 50 pounds, but I don't think I'm going to be able to hold out. I think I will start to tell people this weekend. So, just about my YouTube channel so they can support. One thing that's really cool is when I did my last live, it was maybe 3 weeks ago. And at that time I had 50 subscribers. I may have had 54 because I told four of those friends. So those friends were in addition to the 50. And then I can't remember. I want to say I maybe had like 2,000 views. I can't remember. But anyway, so as of today though, I was just so excited. I have 180 subscribers and I have close to 7,000 views. I have 6,975. So I'm excited about that. I think that's a win for sure. I'm just like, oh my gosh, I can't believe it. It seems like just yesterday, and I was like excited about those 50 subscribers. So yeah, we gotta get up there and get to where Jill is, and Alonda, and some of those other YouTubers, and that have those 1,000 subscribers. I can't even imagine. So that's so cool. But yeah, I have 180, and this is my third month on YouTube. So I started at the end of June. I started June 26th with this channel. And so, it's growing. And remember when I started out, I wasn't on camera. I didn't get on camera until, I want to say it was August was when maybe the end of July, August was when I decided to get on camera. So really, I've been on camera for maybe a month and a half. And that's when, of course, your subscribers pick up when they can see your face, which makes sense on a weight loss journey. I often say to myself, what was I thinking that I was just going to talk about weight loss and not show myself? So, you live and learn and you think, oh, I always thought of it as like a podcast. Like I wanted to start a podcast. And I guess people talk about, weight loss on a podcast and they're not showing themselves. So that was my thought, but it just didn't work out that way. So I guess I'm just meant to, make YouTube videos, I guess. So I just wanted to start off just in case we have new people. I started my GLP-1 medication journey in February of 2024. And so it's been close to 8 months now. And when I started, my A1C was 7.6%, which was, in the diabetic range. It was diabetic. And I did not want to do that. I was like, I cannot be a diabetic. Like, some people see like also I was, up there. My weight was up there. But being a diabetic scared me even more because I've always heard things about it. You losing limbs and, people not being able to see. And I was just so afraid of that. So I thought, gosh, I need to do something. So that's what, motivated me to try the injection. And so I did. And I was researching Ozempic because I had been on Rybelsus the summer before, and that just didn't agree with me. I didn't really like it, so it just didn't make me feel comfortable at all. So I didn't stay on that, and then I didn't do anything after that. I just thought, this is just not for me. But over the course of time, and then I got off of it in September-ish, August or September. And of course, then we have the winter months here. And over the winter months, I just gained weight. Halloween, we celebrate that. My daughter, is big into that. And then I'm an educator. So, the kids in my school and class. And then you have Thanksgiving, and I cook a mean Thanksgiving meal, if I must say so myself. So, you have Thanksgiving, and then you have Christmas. And I also cook a nice, meal for Christmas. And, you just have all the snacks and goodies. And then that gets you into the new year. And so, of course, I made a New Year's resolution. I was going to be on a new path, and it just didn't work out. I just, I start out strong, and then I don't know if this happens to you, but before Mounjaro, I would start off strong, and then I would, mess up. And in my mind, mess up. I would eat things I knew I shouldn't eat, and I would say, oh, I'll start again on Monday. I'll start again on Monday. And when Monday came, I never really started. And so that led me up to, I had a doctor's appointment in February. And then we talked about, she said, well, maybe you ought to try, Mounjaro. And so I thought, okay, I'll try Mounjaro. I'll try it. And I didn't want to inject myself, but the pen is easy peasy. Injecting with the pen is easy peasy. I mean, I'm shocked that I can inject with the pen. So anyway, that's what led me and started me on my Mounjaro journey. And I started off at 2.5, which I've heard some people say they start off at 5, or even, I didn't know doctors were even allowed to do that, let you start at another dose other than the 2.5. But I started off at 2.5, and then I did really well on that. I always hear people say they did really well. Most people, I'm sure some people, don't see results on 2.5, but I saw good results on 2.5. And then I titrated up just because I thought I was supposed to. And then also, it started to, I started to not have like the appetite suppression that I wanted at some point. That led me into the summer in June. And then I went to 5, and then 5 was out of stock. And so I had to go back down to 2.5. And every time I was on 2.5, I lost weight. I don't know what that is. I probably should be on it right now. But I was on 5, then I went back to 5 because, they got it in stock, and then 5 didn't do much for me at all. So I'm interested to know these are just the names I can see, Tia 2.0 Mommy and Kofia. How did you do on 5 milligrams? Because on 5 milligrams, I just did not see as much success as I was hoping. And I don't know if that's my body my body had gotten used to that 2.5. I'm not sure, but I just didn't see it. Great results. So that led me to moving to the 7.5. Let me see if I can see what you guys are saying. Somebody says, nobody, Tia, nobody watches my video except one person. Well, that's me. I'm watching you, I'm watching Kofi. I watch everybody. I'm like one of those supportive people if I, if I can be. If I haven't, and I don't think, Tia, you've had a recent video because I'm usually on it. Um, but I've gone back and watched some of your other videos, so that's cool. And then Kofia is making a video every day. She's gonna leave here and make a video. She is on it. I love that. And then let's see. Okay. Somebody said, "Oh, 180. That's awesome." Oh, yeah. Is that Tia's weight 180? Oh my gosh, I want to be 180 so bad. Uh, oh, thank you. You will get there. You are such a genuine. I'm losing my scroll here. You are such a genuine. Oh, and have a caring personality. Thank you. Thank you. You could take your audio from your videos and turn it into a podcast. I heard that too. I heard that too. And I was using, I don't know if you guys know about Adobe podcast, but they have a voice enhancer. So I think I have a calming kind of voice, but it really made my voice feel really calm. And then sometimes I didn't recognize my voice. I'm like, is that really me? But it's supposed to enhance the audio. But that's a good app if anybody's knows about Adobe podcast. That's a great app. It says, let's see, my other half just started. You will see him YouTube. He just lost 11 pounds on 2.5. Oh, congratulations. That's so cool. So you guys are on a journey together. I think that would be cool. Oh, Kofia, you lost 20 on 5. Good for you. Goodness, I did not have that experience. But I will say, all of you ladies on here that I can see, I mean, it might be other people on this live and I just can't see it, but you guys are doing something I'm not doing. I'm not exercising, except for I do have an exercise update because I mean, Kofia, I see her getting it in. I see, 2.0 mommy. I see everyone just getting it in. And I just don't, I have not been motivated to exercise. I've just been so tired. I'm so tired. So this week I made a commitment that I was going to exercise. So I mean, I don't know what it is. And I'm always like that. I'm either eating right and not exercising, or I'm exercising and I'm not eating the best. Although it's hard to be exercising and not eating the best because, you don't feel as good. So you don't want to exercise. So right now I am kind of stagnant. So what I did was I did work out twice this week instead of the 3 times. And I'm going to show you a video of this little exercise machine I have going on here. But and I'm tomorrow I have an exercise class that I'm going to because I thought I need to go somewhere. Somebody's expecting me to be there and somebody's expecting me to work out. So my daughter and I will be going to this exercise class tomorrow when school is out. So I made that commitment and hopefully I'll like the class and I'll go back. So this is I didn't talk about the arm injection yet. I'm going to skip that, but since I'm talking about exercise, I'm going to show you guys this video. Hopefully you can see it. Let me know in the chat if you can see it. This video is my new exercise machine. They say you can do squats on here. I also have these to help with some little strength training using my own muscle weight. So I'm starting off with this. I do have a Peloton treadmill that is not that great on my knees either, but I am going to start getting on that. I am going to get on the treadmill as well. Thank you. Wish me luck. Did you guys see that? So I have a vibration. What is it called? It's called the what is it called? The vibration plate exercise machine. And so you stand on it and you vibrate. And one of my friends lost, I don't know how many pounds. She looks like she lost 100 pounds. And she didn't do it on the GLP-1, so I'm not exactly sure. But one of the things she said she did for exercise was she was on this vibration plate. So I said, "Oh, I'm gonna get one." I, saw her use it and everything, and I didn't really want feel comfortable getting on hers just because, I was like, "Ah, I'll get my own." So I got on, bought my own, and I've had it over the summer and just didn't get on it. So I got on it on, you can see that was Saturday. My daughter videoed me, and when you stand on it, you can control like how much it vibrates, if it's, fast or slow, whatever speed it is, you can control it. And it caught me off guard. It is pretty strong. I was very shocked. And so I almost fell off of it because it was vibrating so fast and I had to slow it down. But I'm just going to tell you, they say 15 minutes a day, 3 times a week. It can aid in weight loss. So that's what I'm going for to start out. It said the machine vibrates and it transmits energy to your body, forcing your muscles to contract and relax dozens of times each session. So that's how you're getting that, that muscle reaction in there. And it's supposed to reduce back pain. So I can't wait for that. I love that. It's supposed to improve your strength and balance, especially in older adults. And I could totally see that because I told you I lost my balance on there, just underestimating the power of it. And then it's supposed to reduce bone loss. So I found that very interesting. So that's, in addition to hopefully I'll like this class and try to go to this exercise class every Thursday, but I am planning on getting on that vibration plate as well. So once I get into the exercise, just like this YouTube thing, once I get into it, I'm into it. I'm all in, but I have to get into it. And so that's what I'm hoping to do with my exercise. But, if you're thinking about using this vibration plate, I would check with your doctor before you use it. Make sure it's appropriate for you. They say that if you are pregnant or if you have some serious health issues, do not get on it without consulting your doctor. So if you're interested in, that vibration plate, maybe in like a month, I'll kind of give an update when I'm consistently on there and let you know how it goes. So that leads me to, let's see what people are saying in the chat. I see Simply Taisha. I don't know if I'm pronouncing her name wrong. Simply Tasia. I think that's how you pronounce it. She is here. Thank you for coming. Um, yeah, the hardest part is starting. You're right. So it's like I said, I'm always doing one or the other. I'm always either eating really well or I'm exercising. And I need to do both consistently. Like when I was in that boot camp. So if you all watch that boot camp video, you know that I was getting it in. I was exercising and eating correctly. And so that's where I need to be at on this journey. I'm feeling a little bit better to do that. I'm not as exhausted as I used to be. And then, like I say, you ladies are motivating me to get busy, get out there and work out. So the arm injection, I do want to talk about that. I thought the arm injection was awesome. I mean, I still have appetite suppression. Normally I take my injection on a Saturday. And by, I would say Wednesday, which is today is Wednesday, I just don't really have any appetite suppression. I don't have a ton of food noise, but it's there. And I can find myself eating and snacking on things that I should not be eating and snacking on. So the arm injection just kind of alleviated that. Like right now for dinner, I had chicken tenders, they were baked. And I really didn't want to eat anything else. I had a little bit of a salad, leftover salad, and that was it. So I've been cutting out carbs at night, which has helped. So for last week, I'll, tell you how much I lost in a second, or if I even lost in a second. But for last week, that was my strategy. I was like, I'm going to cut low carbs, under 100 carbs, not go the no carbs because I don't want to cut out food groups. That just doesn't really work for me very well. But I did go do the low carb thing, but I'm not a big protein person, which I know Simply Tasia, I'm so impressed with her vegan lifestyle because I've dabbled in it and I haven't been able to maintain it. But gosh, you feel so good when you're eating that way. But then you hear protein and you hear, that you should be eating protein, and the best protein is a meat source of a protein. So I don't know. So eventually, at least 2 or 3 times a year, I just don't eat meat. And I don't eat dairy or cheese. So one of these, I don't know if I'll make it doing that before December because this year is almost over already. But that's something that I usually do, and it does make you feel good. So I can just imagine. I saw Simply Taisha with those muscles. She's eating vegan, so she's probably feeling really good. And it doesn't look like she's eating a lot of processed vegan things either. So I need to get on board with that too. So I did eat, but I'm loading up on protein. I'm not eating as many carbs. Cutting them out at night has definitely helped. And you know how like you can feel, but I don't want to get on the scale because anytime I get on the scale during the week before it's my weigh-in, it doesn't favor me. And I'll show you an example of why I say that. But I feel like I'm a little bit slimmer, even though because my clothes are fitting loose, even though the week is not up. So the arm injection was easy peasy. Actually, I injected in my other arm on Sunday because I did so on Saturday because I did so well the week before. So right now it's the arm and me. We're friends. We're friends right now. So I'm going to tell you how much I lost. I have a little video. I had this conversation with another content creator. We were talking about when you should weigh in or when I weigh in. And I always, I guess you're supposed to, if you take your injection a week is, actually, hi Jen. When you take your injection a week is Sunday to Sunday. I mean Saturday to Saturday. Well, I always wait and weigh in that Sunday or Monday because I don't see a result. So I will show you, my last weight was 270. And then when I got on the scale midweek, because I was just feeling good, like I got on the scale midweek, I was still 270. Well, when I got on the scale on Saturday, I was 270.6. And I'm like, what? So the next day was Sunday, and I weighed in, and you're gonna see what my weigh-in looked like. So here we go. Let's see if I don't know if you could see that. So I'm 268.2. I'm so excited. You know how I know you guys, everybody wants to get to Wonderland, that 199 or 185 or 150, whatever the one is. But I just wanted to get out of the 70s. I'm like, I gotta get out of these 270s. So there it is. My weight loss is 1.8. And I don't know if you can see, but at one point when I weighed in on that Saturday, now why was I 270.6 on Saturday, and on Sunday I was 268.2? Like no one can, I mean, research says that you hold on to water, all of that, I don't know what it is that, it makes me retain that water and hold on to things that Saturday, but I see the results on Sunday. So anyway, I am happy this week. So that's how many pounds is that? What did it say? 1.8 pounds. So I'm hoping to get to that 40-pound mark. Oh my goodness. I'm excited about that. And so, once I start exercising, I'm definitely sure that's gonna kick things up a notch. So I'm looking forward to that. So let me go to the chat and see what some people are saying. I saw Jen was here. I saw Kimberly said, "Yay, time to work out. You have the Peloton treadmill." I do. And I had the Peloton bike at first, and my bottom was so hurting so bad that I just couldn't keep the bike. And so I even ordered, you can order, different bike seats and have them put on there. So I had different bike seats installed. I had about 3 different ones, and I just did not like the way it felt on my bottom. So I returned it and exchanged it for the treadmill. So I do like the treadmill. I do have some dumbbells. I have a home gym here. Like anything you think you could need or want. I have like one of those steppers. Because remember I said at one point I was exercising, like so. But I have everything you need. It's just a matter of getting on there and doing it. And my daughter that's 7, she tells me that too. And so I really do need to start getting my energy up and getting back on there on that treadmill and showing my daughter, we got to work out, and so she can have it instilled in her. That's part of the problem. When I was growing up, I saw no one exercising. No one was exercising. Everybody in my family is thin. except for me. Most people are naturally thin, and a couple of cousins that I have that gained weight, it was because they took, um, a shot so they wouldn't, get pregnant. I don't know what the shot is called. I've never had that, but and I remember when they both took it, they just got really, really big based off of that shot. But my mom was slim, my dad, my brother, everyone's slim. So for me, it was like I was always like the outlier, It was always like, how am I gaining this weight? And I don't know if anybody remembers me talking about this up before, but my mom was like, well, maybe something's wrong with your thyroid. And really, it wasn't. I'm just an emotional eater for, good times, bad times. I'm not a drinker, I'm not a smoker. So I've always just celebrated and, kind of, use food for everything, every occasion. And so that's just, where I'm at. But yeah, that's my goal. It's something. So I know that lady, I can't remember her name. She reminds me of Gail. I don't know, Gail King, but she's a, content creator as well. And she lost 100 pounds without exercising at all. And I just thought, wow. And then I don't think I don't think it took her a year to do that. Maybe it took her a little over a year to do that. And wow, I just give her a lot of credit. I think now she's, exercising and doing things, but she didn't on her weight loss, and she explained why. But for me, I don't want to do that. I am 52 and I feel like I need some bone strength, like some muscles. Like my daughter will say, Mom, let me see your muscles. And I have a little muscle, but not the kind of muscle I want to show. So yeah, I'm going to get in there, Kimberly. She says she has what she calls the starter home gym. I love that. Somebody says, oh, Tia says clear whey protein. What is that? I do have some protein, but it's like a lemon frost, a frosted lemonade. It actually tastes like a lemon, what do you call those? Frozen lemonade from Chick-fil-A. I don't know if anybody drinks that, but this frosted lemonade, whey powder, you mix it with water, it tastes just like that. And it really doesn't have an aftertaste. That's gonna make me want to have one of those. I haven't had one in a while. Tasia, I hope I'm pronouncing her name right. It's the real MVP getting it in. She is with no meat. You used to be a vegetarian, Tia. And then she had a baby and started breastfeeding, and that was a wrap. I was starving. Oh yeah, I can imagine. Um, and say, oh yeah, congratulations on my when I went horseback riding, my butt was sore too. I hear that now. I haven't gotten on a horse, but I'm really sensitive about my bottom. Like I have to be comfortable. Somebody said a depot shot. Is that what the shot is called when you're trying to prevent pregnancy? I don't know. Um, 100 pounds down. Yes. Your friend, yeah, isn't that I love her little slogan there. A friend on your GLP-1 journey. Yes, that's the channel. I love that lady. Like I said, she reminds me of Gail King. Every time I see her, I think of that. So yeah, women do lose muscle, and oh my gosh, I feel like I'm losing muscle every day. So tomorrow I start my class. Hopefully I like it. I just signed up for one class. I could have signed up to the end of the year, but I don't want to get stuck there if it's something that I don't like. I forget what it's called. I know I have to take a yoga mat. I'm gonna put some weights, just in my car just in case. But I'm prepping myself and I'm ready to go. And like you guys have all motivated me, honestly, to do that. Walking on the treadmill, yeah, for some reason, I'm just not in love with that treadmill. I think, you see the Peloton people, they're on there doing their Peloton thing. My dad will come over here. He likes this one lady, that's on there. He'll come on there and put her on and he'll work out. And he's 76. Why did I say that? Because that's put me to shame. But I think he likes looking at the lady. So I need to get a guy on there that I think is handsome. And maybe that'll motivate me to get my buns moving. But yeah, I do need to get on that treadmill. That treadmill was a long story. That those things are not cheap. So I do need to get on that treadmill and get going. Peloton also has like strength training you can do on there. They have an app. They have a lot to offer. So you need to work out. So 2.0 mommy, you haven't gone back to your working out yet after your soft 75 challenge? I will say that was a hard challenge. I was like, "Oh my gosh." I think, that's probably something better I could try to do in the spring, just, like a portion of it. Um, I don't know if you live in an area where it's warm all year, but it seems like when it gets cool, that might not be as motivating. Jen, she says, "I walk 5 miles a day on my week off. I work 1 week and 1 week on and 1 week off." Oh my gosh, that's awesome. 5 miles a day. Apparently from the 1800s. So what's different about the Peloton treadmills. The Peloton treadmills have like a monitor, like a TV screen on there, and they have within that app, it's like I would say it's like an app, I don't know. But within that screen, they have a ton of workouts. Like, and you can pick the genre of music you listen to. Um, you can pick if you have a favorite artist, they're probably on there. You could work out to all their songs. They have it's like a class. It's like it's like a virtual, you go on there, like if you look at your computer screen and you have a menu of any kind of class, and then they come in different increments. So you could do an hour class, you could do, 45 minutes, you could do 15, you could do a power walk, you could do just a regular stroll. And then of course, and the people, the instructors are coaching you as you go. What's cool is you give yourself an avatar, which I do like, and they kind of rank you as far as where you are, how many miles you walk, what speed you're going, and you get a ranking. And that motivates me because I never want to be dead last. So I look at that ranking and I'm like, oh, I might not be up there with, the top people, but I'm not the last one either. And so that's nice. And then you can have people see you doing it, so they know it's you. So if you had like, so if if Jill, if you were to get a Peloton bike, you and I could hook up, and I could give you my avatar, my username, and then we could go on together and we can walk together. So that's kind of cool. You can connect with people as well on the Peloton. And then they have an app. I remember seeing it on my TV. I have not used the app, but I do have it on my phone. So if you were out, and you wanted some exercise, if you were out of town on vacation, you could just pull out that app and do some working out there. So it's a lot you can do with it. And then they show you how you can use the treadmill not just to run and walk. It's actually strength exercises and stretching that you could do on that Peloton. So you could do a whole lot. The more I talk about it, the more I'm saying I need to get busy. I'm missing an opportunity. So, yeah, it's a lot you could do with it. And it's gonna be winter time. So that'll, I'll get my buns moving on that treadmill. So yeah, they made it interactive. It is really, really nice. The only thing is, now I don't know, maybe they can do this, but the only thing is the people don't talk directly to you. But I'm sure they probably have some one-on-one coaching or something where they can make that happen. Um, I'm sure that's probably available. I just don't know about it. And it's not cheap though. You pay for that. Like I thought when I bought it, I thought that was included. And I don't know if it was included for a certain amount of months, if that was like a special or something. But now I think it's like 47, they charge you $47 a month to maintain that app. Now you don't need to pay that. You could just you could walk on the treadmill without that. And you know what? I wasn't paying that. And once I started walking on the treadmill, I feel like it's like a signal went to their headquarters and they start charging me again. So I don't know if that's a thing or if that just happened because I never called to cancel, but they weren't charging me probably because they knew I wasn't walking on it. But once I started getting back on it over the summer, I did, it was hit or miss, nothing consistent, but they started charging me again for it. So that's another motivation to get back on it. Kimberly said something. Let's see. Oh, she's saying she has a lifetime fitness membership. She's had it 25 years and she's still going strong. Good job. That's lifetime fitness. I do now. Yours says life fitness. Here we have a lifetime fitness, and it's super expensive. When I first was going, when it first came in my area, it was, I want to say I was paying $50 a month, Well, now I was considering going over the summer to work out instead of going to Planet Fitness because I couldn't take my daughter, because they don't have anyone to watch your children when you're at Planet Fitness. So I was going to go to Lifetime Fitness. That membership has increased almost 3 times. It was actually over almost 4 times. It was almost $200 a month for my daughter and I. Now, mind you, they have a pool, they have a sauna, they have babysitting, which is included if you need it. They have everything you can think of, they have it there. That reminds me, I'm gonna see if they have a DEXA scan because I want to take one of those sometime, before the end of this year. I kind of looked it up in my area and I haven't seen it um offered here. So I wonder, if I could get a DEXA scan, but um Lifetime Fitness here would know and they probably could direct me on where to go. So I'm glad I said that out loud. Um, Tia says she's trying to love the treadmill. I don't though. She did the 5K with her son on Sunday. She ran today at lunch and was thinking, this sucks the whole time. That is awesome though. You did a 5K. I love that. So I'm guessing the weather was nice because I think this was on a Sunday. You said right. You said you did that on a Sunday. Have you ever done over a 5K? What's next after a 5K? Because I don't think I've done a 5K. I think I've done the most I've done is a 2-mile walk. It was like a breast cancer awareness walk, but I don't think I've ever done a 5K. Have I? I could have in my younger years. I don't remember. I don't know if that's something you forget. I've done a couple. I just don't know if that was a 5K. But what's after that? I know it doesn't go from a 5K to the marathon. What's next? She lives in Denver. The weather was perfect. Oh my goodness. I did a 10K. Wow, 10K. Now, let me ask, this is so I always want to ask when people say they ran a long distance, does your toenails actually come off? Is that true? I know for marathons they do because I have one of my besties is she runs marathons. Well, she used to quite often. But I just wondered if that's every long distance or if that's just oh, your son ran a 15K in 1 hour and 60 minutes. Oh my goodness. Wow, he thought he would motivate me to get out there and get moving. That's cool. I remember you saying that you were doing that. I am in okay, she said the weather was perfect. That's cool. Denver, it does have kind of nice weather. Everything's nice in Denver. I think Denver's a nice state, a good place to be. Denver's a nice city. That state, it seems like it's a great state to live in. Um, Let's see. I think that is it. I talked about my exercise goals. So that's my goal this week. This weekend, I'm gonna weigh in, and I'm supposed to be on the live with Traces of Twine. Traces of Twine. I think that's her name, how you say her channel name. And I don't know, they had that hurricane in Florida. So I'm not sure if we're still doing it. I'm praying that everything is going well with her. So hopefully if you guys, see us on there, you can join. Like I said, I'm not sure if we're still doing that. But this weekend when I weigh in, I'm hoping to be under my 40-pound mark. That is what I am hoping. I'm looking forward to, sharing my little update. And I'm looking forward to getting to 50. That's like the big number that I can't wait for because the most I've ever lost before at one time is 50. So I'm trying to get to that. When I get to that 50 mark, I'll be super happy. And then I'll have to let you guys know maybe next week in the live what my friends and family said and what they do. But I'm finding this true. I don't know if you guys, a lot of you on here are content creators yourself. And when they say your friends and family don't care, I don't think they mean literally, but they really kind of don't. You know what I mean? Like they root you on, they're happy for you, but they're not like checking out all your videos and calling you like, girl, that was a great video. What's going on with your weight loss? So it's so cool to have like the support of you guys. You guys have embraced me. I'm a newbie and I feel so loved and supported and embraced, and I appreciate that. And thank you for coming. See, somebody said Lifetime Fitness is a luxury gym. It's the best ever. It is, but oh my gosh, it's so expensive. It doesn't have to be that expensive. I probably will go there this summer though, because like I said, once my daughter's um summer camp is over, I will probably have to go to Lifetime because they have the child care. If Planet Fitness had the child care, they would be good because it's cheaper and they have exactly what you need, a way to do cardio and a way to do strength training. And that's really all you need. But oh, okay. I will take that note from Tia and we will get out of here. Thank you for joining me, giving up part of your Wednesday. I appreciate you guys. See you next week, hopefully, maybe possibly this weekend too. And thank you for coming. Bye.